Here's a reality for you. Why is nature the true God? I don't give a fuck how many terrorists I offend. Why is nature the true God? That's up to you. Come out with all your reasons why you think that's true. Here's a simple reality. From the perspective of somebody who's not frightened of the big picture. And if you, well, are, then you wouldn't be coming out with your own reasons why you think nature's the true God. The only thing you've got to come to fucking terms with fucking now is that nature is not the stereotypical perfect belief system of terrorism. Jesus will fucking say that it's their destiny to control the world because they want to erase all negativity from existence. Nature doesn't do that. Terrorism of Islam will say it's our destiny to control the world because we got the fucking spine to erase everything else from existence. Nature doesn't do that either. The reality is, nature is an eternal balance between hope and despair. And only people that accept both in equal amounts can look past the stereotypical surface of both of them and see the harmony beneath. But that's not the fucking reason I believe. Might be a fucking good enough fucking reason for the religious fucking zealots of the fucking world. But it's not a good enough reason for a scientist. And there's one fucking thing that people forget is that fucking science was also a pagan god, even if it was fucking just a tool, and a scientist couldn't accept that. So what are you going to use to fucking humble a scientist? Name me one black animal. Not brown labelled as black like a human being. A fully pitch black animal that isn't either small or hibernates. Where is this going, you ask? Black attracts heat, but it doesn't just attract heat, it stores it. So name me one black animal that isn't either small or hibernates. Simple. Small black animals like crows, ravens, small black animals. They're quick to heat up, so they'll chill in the shade for 5 minutes to cool down, but they're also equally quick to cool down. Their size means that they don't have to stay in the shade for as long as a big animal to cool down. But their size also means that they heat up faster. Which is why you see more black animals in colder environments than you do in hot ones. Why hot environments tend to attract lots of multicoloured animals. Bright coloured animals. What pitch black animals can you think of? Crows, ravens, standard. Black bears. Hibernate. Polar bears. Now people say, no, polar bears are white. Their skin is actually black. But unlike the black bear whose skin underneath their fur is white, Polar bears live in freezing cold conditions. Whereas for the black bear, because the conditions they live in aren't freezing cold conditions, they're just, prone to fucking occasional bit of fucking, snow. But it's not guaranteed all the time. But it is, guaranteed enough for them to need to hibernate. Whereas a polar bear lives in an environment where, when, the polar ice caps aren't melting, snows almost every day, even during the summer. Now, it may ease off during the spring and summer fucking periods and not snow as often. But it still snows during the spring and the summer, even in fucking, even in spring and summer, it still snows. It just doesn't snow as often. Which is why, unlike the black bear, the polar bear's skin is black. Because black stores heat. Which is why their skin is black. It means that it doesn't fucking let the heat out as much. But it still lets it out a fucking enough so that they don't overheat and fucking burn themselves out, which would be fucking, fatal in the environment that they live in. How would they be able to do that? Well, clearly fucking something about their environment helps them stay fucking warm. Otherwise they'd have died by now. That's not true. That's a fucking stereotype and a fucking, and a myth. How is it? Okay, if it's a stereotype and a fucking myth, then why is it black people can cope with the heat better than whites? Come on. Black stores heat. And no black person is 100% pitch black. Every black person has white palms. And a white tongue. And white soles of their feet. Which means they're not naturally black. They just spent so fucking long in a hot environment that they turned black. So nature said, well, if you fucking insist, fine, I'll give you the means to survive. But going off fucking topic, name me one fucking animal that's not either small or hibernates that's black. Or if you're gonna get fucking picky, doesn't spend fucking, huge amounts of time in the sunlight. Because I know some of you are going to go, spiders! They don't spend a lot of time in the sunlight, though, do they? Why? Because black attracts fucking heat, and the fucking bigger you fucking are, the slower you fucking warm up, but the slower you also cool down. So name me fucking one fucking animal that's not either small, hibernates, or in the case of small animals, doesn't spend a large amount of time in the sunlight. I was actually thinking about fish. But even then, among fish, name me one fish that's actually pitch black with no other colour accompanying it. And name me a pitch black fish that lives in a tropical environment where the water's prone to fucking just as prone to heating up as it is to freezing. You can't, can you? Well, there's science's fucking justification for why nature's the true god. Because evolution has a process that they've been trying to figure out for fucking centuries, but failing dramatically because they're incapable of putting the little pieces of the big picture together. Which is why they're always fucking up. Because their ego makes them think they're the best of humanity. Just like the religious fucking zealots. And why fucking every single person that puts the pieces together is not part of any of their communities. Which is why they're saints that always come from humble backgrounds. So, if the probability of all these things fucking happening that creates the natural balance of life, you know, excluding humanity who keeps, you know, fighting against that natural balance because they're on one side or the other of terrorism's perfect world, and constantly offended by balance because it won't erase either of them on their terms. As the creator of life, nature's got the fucking right to say, fucking, if you want to die that badly, it'll be on my terms. Because after all, nature's the only fucking one that's ever made a place for equality. Hence the reason why it was never dedicated to genocide, just prone to telling you to fuck off when you tried to kill it. So, what's the probability of all these fucking animals that are truly black, not, you know, terrorism's version of black, where you can be brown and still fucking be, you know, everything that fucking makes them a victim? Not going back on that rant, there's already a video fucking asking fucking which one of you, a black, a white, or a nigger. A nigger is a racist. And if you truly fucking want to fucking use that word in an equal fucking way, you'll call every lazy entitled brat a nigger, regardless of whether they're black or white. Blacks and whites can live in peace. It's the racists that can't, and the racists are always niggers. That's why they're always saying, brother! Nigger in the hood! So instead of fucking empowering racism by using it as a word to get offended, use it in its fucking true context, because it's evolved just like every other fucking aspect of our fucking world. Call the lazy entitled brat and nigger. Then you'll be practicing equality. Why the world is segregating right now into the factions that are going to fight World War III. So you're going to have to decide which one you fit into. Blacks and whites are equals. Niggers are superior to all others and entitled to everything. That's why you can never make them happy. Because even if you give them rights, they'll still use the victim card, even if that fucking doesn't apply anymore. Because they never leave the past in the past, but we've managed to fucking end up on this fucking rant, and it's not actually fucking, what I'm fucking actually fucking, you know, ranting about. So, off this topic, go fucking watch my video. So what's the fucking probability of all these truly black animals evolving the way they did to cope with the laws of life? Very low. Okay. What's the probability of every single fucking animal in the fucking world evolving to fit into the environment that they live in? Next to impossible. And yet it's happened. How? You've been fucking around with genetics and all that for years. So how did all fucking the natural world come to fucking exist if something doesn't know what it's doing? Frightening thought, innit? Why is it frightening for you? I can give you a number of fucking reasons why I know you're frightened. One, your ego's been fucking insisting for so fucking long that you're best of humanity. The wake up fucking call is not something you know how to cope with. Not without every fucking thing that fucking insists on it having the spine to fucking actually put you in your fucking place. Because you haven't got the spine to do it yourself. Because you know fucking what you and everyone like you is like. And that frightens you. But don't worry. You're on the fucking same fucking, you know, path as everything that fucking thinks they're beneath you. Ticking time bombs that are all going to unite when it's fucking absolutely necessary. So don't worry. You'll be fine. You'll either fucking live with your conscience, or you'll die with hope. Either way, nature is an eternal balance between hope and despair. Whenever one or the other goes out of balance, it corrects it. Doesn't commit genocide, just rebalances. How it does that depends on which one's gone out of balance. When it's the positive that's gone out of balance, the negative has to give it a few fucking slaps to wake it up to the fucking reality that positive and negative are like a battery. When they're in balance, they complement each other. When they're out of balance, they're a threat to each other. And since life is dependent fucking on them being balanced, both are dedicated to correcting it. Why did the one God religions come into existence? Because terrorism affected the pagan world. And the pagans segregated into the factions that would ultimately fucking become the one God religions. Which is why there's so many pagan fucking traditions in Christianity. And why Christianity makes more sense than Islam. But what about fucking Christianity doesn't make sense and have anything in common with life? The parts of it that agree with Islam. Why did they do that? Because they tried to forgive the fuckers. But you can't forgive something that wants to murder you no matter what effort you make for it. Which is why so many fucking Christians ended up living with a conscience after the Crusades. Because they knew in their heart that Islam wouldn't take no for an answer. So they ended up having to be something they're fucking not by taking part in attempted genocide because they knew full fucking well you can't save a true believer. And when you're a true believer in something that doesn't take no for an answer, well, there's no evolution in that. Evolution is change, and something that doesn't change, doesn't evolve. So, the wake-up fucking call for Christians, if you truly want to save your world and your lives, is this. You're a pagan. Like it or not, you're a pagan. Your history is that of the pagans that felt guilty for the part they fucking played in encouraging the enslavement of the Jews and took a fucking oath to stand by them as they fought for freedom. And because there were so many pagan cultures in the world, like Britain, for example, that didn't take fucking part in it, so therefore we didn't actually, take fucking well to being told that we owed people anything, which is why we were constantly rebelling against Europe. You're pagan, you owe us. You're the one that committed the fucking crimes. If you can't accept fucking that, then we're not having you back. And that's been our relationship with Europe. Which is why there was only fucking one Roman emperor that Britain respected, and it was the first one. Because it was the first one that fucking didn't actually try to change us. See, this is what happens, see? You could sit there and get jealous, or put your fucking self down because you fucking, didn't think to think this way. But I'm telling you now, the only reason for that is because you don't like the thought that you're pagan. Pagan is an eternal balance between hope and despair. We're not one or the other. We're an equal amount of both. We're enough hope to give despair a reason to fight, and enough despair to give hope a reason to forgive. And that's fucking why that just like the fucking Jews, terrorism attempted genocide on true pagans as well, because you can't enslave a pagan. It'll fight to the death, just like an animal. That's why they always try to murder the parents and steal the children. Because you can't save a true believer. When you're a true believer of terrorism, you're eternally fucked. Nature may take its time in wiping you out, but it will do it eventually. It'll just wait and fuck until everything that's faithful to it is ready to evolve. So you'll only ever be blessed for your own destruction. And a pagan, well, we're laid back a fucking enough to not indulge genocide, which is why we all fucking like the Jews. We always end up a victim of genocide. So we end up spreading both hope and despair because, it's our age that ended up fucking being referred to as the age of heroes. But we're also the age of villains. Why? Because we're an equal amount of hope and despair. And depending on which aspect of nature, which pagan god you feel the most connected to, is depending on how you react to them. Fight or flight, it doesn't matter. They're both aspects of nature. Both predators and prey run and fight. The circumstances are the only fucking things that dictate the reason why. A predator will fucking flee a fucking battle when it knows it can't win, so it accepts defeat gracefully and moves on. Prey will do the fucking same. But not fucking because of any reason other than the fact that it's prey. Don't get all fucking disheartened by that. Nature's prey is no victim. It fights. It doesn't enjoy fighting like a predator does, which is why predators in nature keep their own population under control. And they don't go out fucking attempting fucking genocide when they have a fucking bad year of fucking reproducing. Every aspect of nature is a god that has a natural instinct to respect balance, which is why it doesn't hold a grudge. A real god accepts its limitations. Yes, Christianity, I know this is all in your book, but you're forgetting you were once pagan. So stop getting your fucking, stop letting your ego get in the way of you learning. Because it was a pagan oracle that fucking predicted your prophecy. And that prophecy was the centre of why you chose to band together. And why you took so fucking much offence when there were pagans like myself that refused to take part in it. Because you wanted to reject the equal factor of our belief systems that said, I don't have to be Christian to have your back. Show me some respect and I'll fucking protect you. But if you can't muster up fucking that much and you want to indulge in their bullshit, then fuck off and die. No, having slowly come to terms with this reality over the fucking centuries is why fucking pagans are coming back in Western civilization. But that's a good thing. Because Jesus is fucking, a god of war. And gods of war / battle are pagan gods. So who's Jesus' army? Pagans. The world's segregating for a reason. Christianity belongs where it was founded. So as pagan beliefs, which are already becoming, more favourable in the fucking West than Christianity. Or, there wouldn't be so fucking many Norse inspirations for one, or Celtic inspirations for two. Because people love the Druids just as much as they love the Norse. Many fucking pagan fucking lovers out there. Even the gods of a fucking Olympus are fucking still around fucking in Greece. Even if they were a minority for a very long time. The inspiration they've been fucking getting in fucking, recent history with fucking things like fucking, the Clash of the Titans and shit. Making them very appealing to fucking people fucking, that are prone to coming out and admitting they're pagan. Here's the reality. Why is it that despite Christianity fucking attempting genocide on us, the pagans are sprouting in Christian territory? Now, the hateful terrorists among the Christians will say, oh, because you're fucking evil. No, it's because we're the ones that founded you. What would happen if a pagan fucking belief tried to sprout up in fucking, the Middle East? It'd get massacred. Why? Because that's what the fucking Islamists did to pagans. And then they tried to do it in the name of Jesus when they got forgiven. If Islam or Christianity was stereotyped to being something that was related to skin colour, we wouldn't be living in the world we're living in today. It's a morality. And the reality is, no matter how many times the Christians attempted, genocide on us pagans, they always regretted it, which is why they could never go through with it when they fucking had their chance to. Because they knew in their fucking hearts that it was the fucking terrorists that they forgave that were doing it, and that they actually fucking wanted to forgive us. Because they knew in their fucking hearts that we were fucking completely justified for slapping a terrorist, even if they weren't willing to do it themselves. Because in their hearts, they knew, deep fucking down, it was us that made the fucking pact to defend the fucking slaves that wanted to revolt. / criminals, because a slave is just a copy and paste of the fucking slave master. And will always do everything in its power to appease it, so when you free it, it'll try to become the slave master. Whereas the criminal never agreed with the slave master, so you can fucking trust it to learn eventually, even if it makes a shit ton of mistakes along the way. At what fucking point in time have you ever fucking heard a happy ending story for a slave? Now fuck the stereotypical stereotypical surface shit. On the surface, a slave and a criminal look exactly the same. But it's the same thing as fucking arrogance and humility. How do you tell the difference between them? How they react to the fucking things that threaten their existence. How does an arrogant person react? Well, an arrogant person thinks it's better than everything else, so therefore, if you don't agree with it, you have to die. An arrogant person believes in genocide because it believes it's better than everything else. Whereas the humble person just believes it's got the right to coexist. So it'll only ever punch the threat. And trust that all its equals will do the same. And if the fucking time fucking period fucking says, well, there's not many fucking people that are actually your equal left. Oh, well, who cares? Nature evolved us once, it'll do it again when it's fucking ready. Anything that's not an aspect of nature will just, be weeded from the Garden of Eden, so why would we care? Evolution is life. So nature will always evolve things in life's best interests. So if us returning is in its best interest, we'll always come back. Because we're aspects of it. Which is why no pagan has ever feared death. My terrorism has always fucking taken offence by the fucking thought of us returning for the end times. Because it means they're never going to be blessed to succeed in genocide and only ever going to be the victims of their own wish. Because their belief system is not in life's best interests. So even if the world gets destroyed, it won't be before nature's fucking prepared to, well, develop life's immune system to stupidity. So even if the fucking cost is this planet fucking ends up blown up or fucking whatever, devoid of life, that doesn't matter. Because any fucking scientist that fucking, studies archaeology, that have been trying to fucking use fossils to recreate fucking extinct species, will know nothing's dead forever. Nothing that's in life's best interest anyway. A mammoth was in life's best interest during that fucking ice age because it was big enough to stay hot even when it was freezing, and bigger fucking enough to not need to eat so regularly because it was so slow fucking moving that even fucking when it was struggling and fucking migrating to areas where it could have something to eat, it'd always fucking eaten a fucking enough to make a slow journey there. And its size meant that it would stay warm enough to not freeze to death while it was getting there. As the planet started fucking heating up, it grew bigger ears to keep itself fucking cooled like an elephant does, fucking from, flaps its fucking ears to help it stay cool, and lost its fur and shrunk. Because it didn't need to be as big because it wouldn't stay hot or cold for as long as it does during a, an ice age or a heat wave. The hotter the planet's destined to get, it needed to shrink. Why? Because heat allows foliage and every fucking thing that fucking life depends on to thrive. The heat from the sun allows vegetation to thrive, which means they'll end up with a bigger population, so they needed to shrink. Which is why you see elephants constantly fucking living in environments that help them stay cool, but also enough fucking vegetation to support their size. Because having lost their fur and their ears shrinking means they can't fucking survive in cold environments like they used to when they were mammoths. But they're natural-born gardeners as well. So their size allows them to help the fucking trees not strangle each other while they're reproducing. Say their diet is also the very fucking plants they maintain. which helps limit the fucking chance of the fucking trees that they depend on upsetting their own fucking balance. Because when you're stuck in one fucking place for your entire fucking life, how are you fucking supposed to fucking, you know, control where your seeds land? I don't give a fuck if you believe they're self-aware or not. That's not the question here. The reality is, if they were fucking self-aware in the fucking sense that you believe them to be, and not just, you know, self-aware fucking enough to create themselves, what do I mean by that? Well, a tree is alive enough to know where the sun is, to lean fucking towards it, or be flexible enough to survive a wind fucking, you know, the change in fucking the currents of the wind. So it's self-aware enough to fucking actually have an instinct for all of this, but not self-aware enough that'll internally live in despair, knowing full fucking well it can't defend itself. So it's not self-aware in the fucking way that you and me are, but self-aware fucking enough to be alive. Now, back to the fucking my original reason for fucking making this video. How can you turn around and fucking say that nature doesn't know what it's doing when it knew, well, being stuck in one place would make you fucking live in fucking despair, not being able to defend your fucking self from things that fucking are, you know, prone to threatening your existence. Even if it's not intentional, like a fucking elephant just marching through a forest. If it was human, fucking you'd be scared for the rest of your life. Because a human won't just fucking, you know, chop you fucking down for necessity like an animal will. It'll fucking chop you down for profit. And for a fucking ego stroke when it gets offended. So, fucking, if it was fucking, you know, if nature didn't know what it was doing, but it was capable of creating self-awareness to the degree of humanity and animals, isn't it funny fucking how everything in fucking nature has a good reason for the way that it is? The tree's not self-aware fucking enough to live in eternal despair, but self-aware enough for it to survive. A fish doesn't have a long-term memory, but any fucking wonder considering how many fucking things want to eat the fuck up. Oh, how fucking cruel, says terrorism. How is it? Aspects of fucking life, aspects of nature, don't give a shit. We'll be born into the fucking fish. Why do you fucking think fucking, you know, Native Americans had an animal spirit? That's because fucking we're prone to being that animal. We don't fucking mind being a fucking fish and helping fucking, you know, our family fucking live the fucking lives they choose. We're all equal. We're all fucking part of the balance. They'll do the same for fucking us fucking when our fucking time fucking comes to be reborn. We created life in fucking balance. A tree's self-aware enough for it to fucking be alive, but not self-aware enough that it'll live in despair. A fish has got enough of a fucking memory for it to recognise its kin while it's fucking reproducing, but not fucking enough of a fucking memory so it lives in fucking despair, knowing full fucking well, I'm fucked. A bird has got enough fucking recognition for the life that it lives to know if my offspring can't fly, it's better to fucking put them out of their misery fucking now, because they won't fucking survive, and it's not fair. It's not fair fucking to them to fucking expect them to. The animals that are fucking willing to give humanity a chance are the ones that befriend them. The rest just keep to them fucking selves because they know full fucking well, without us, you don't breathe anyway. So how is it, if nature's not alive and a god, and the true fucking god, and not the, stereo fucking typical fucking label that terrorism likes to fucking pretend nature is, just plain simple evil. It's only fucking evil because it keeps telling you no. It's always nice to everything that fucking shows respect. It's part of the reason I fucking love Elder Scrolls, especially Oblivion. Why? Say, be responsible with the fruits of nature's world. Respect her power and fear her fury. For you hardcore Elder Scrolls fucking fans, I may not have fucking said that 100 fucking percent to the fucking way it's fucking actually fucking written in the 10 Commands and the 9 Divines. But the fucking only fucking line that's ever stuck with me fucking throughout the entire of my fucking life since playing fucking Oblivion is respect her power, fear her fury. Oh, psychology's on me now. Why? Simple. I had a natural love and respect for fucking nature, so I didn't need to be told the first line. That's why it didn't stay fucking with me, because I was already living it. But my fucking problem was, just like every fucking one else like me, that's prone to speaking their fucking mind, how many fucking people fucking wanted to put us fucking down for having the nerve to be negative and be honest about fucking our belief systems, instead of lying to ourselves like it's expected of the modern world. So we always get put down and told we're evil. So we tend to not like losing our temper, even if it's justified. Hence the reason why respect her power, fear her fury stuck with me more than the first line. Your psychology doesn't work on me. I don't need help. I need respect. Just like nature. I know. You're watching and you're asking me, why am I staring? I'm not saying a word. Because I know if you've made it this fucking far, you're in a fucking time period of your life, we're trying to make sense of everything. And you don't like the fact that I'm looking at you in a way that says, are you going to make a decision? May not be physically in front of you, but you've made it this far, so you know it's fucking you. I'm giving you the look. Who are you? A terrorist or a pagan? I'm a Christian! Then you're a fucking terrorist. Or you would have fucking listened to the fucking first fucking part of what I said, that pagans founded Christianity. Agreeing to ally with the Jews as they fought for survival and freedom. So if you're a Christian, but not a pagan, then you're a terrorist. Or you'd respect the fact that the only fucking thing in life that's in all things is nature, and nature is a pagan god, which means you are pagan too. You're just connecting to the aspects of life that you love the most, like every pagan. And the only thing you're missing is respect for that. Because it's also the reason why pagans and Christians have always succeeded in living together in coexistence. But a Muslim never has, with anyone. And the Jews, well, self-explanatory. The only fucking thing they fucking want is to be free. So yes, in fairness, they fucking want coexistence as well, but I don't need to fucking say that to a Jew. It's the Christians that have fucking lost sight of the fucking reality of the founding of their religion. Oh, Jews can be equally fucking guilty of fucking losing sight of it. Why do you think fucking the Jewish religion is a lot more brutal than Christianity? Oh, come on. It is true. The traditions of the Jewish fucking religion are a lot more brutal than Christianity, like castrating themselves. So why is it? The Christianity is a lot more gentle and laid back. Simple. Because for the pagans that were repenting their sins for having taken fucking part in persecuting people like the Jews, they were repenting their sins. So they had to connect with their gentle side a little bit fucking more. Whereas the Jews needed to fucking grow a spine to defend them fucking selves instead of fucking being so laid back that they accepted being enslaved. When they're working together in harmony, they complement each other. Which was the way they preserved the balance when fucking they converted to Christianity or Jewish fucking faith from being pagan. Whereas us pagans went, it doesn't matter to us because we're still balanced anyway. We'll have your fucking back if you show us respect. If you don't, we'll tell you to fuck off. Jesus says true people will be slaves. So they'll be Christian. The irony. The Jews aren't slaves anymore. They're fighting for survival. Not fucking saying that Islam doesn't want to enslave them or fucking, commit genocide on them. But they're not slaves anymore. We succeeded in helping them free themselves. It's Christianity that fucking slaves now. Slaves to their own guilt trip. Feeling fucking like they've got no fucking right to fucking defend themselves or anyone fucking else because they deserve everything they get. So they're waiting for Jesus. And the Jews are going, grow a fucking spine! Supposed to be our fucking ally! And us pagans are going, yeah, good luck with fucking that. They're not going to fucking make a move until Jesus comes back. Then they'll fucking fight for their fucking survival and fucking, you know, be on the receiving end of the treatment you were fucking on back when they were crusading. So you'll be their saviours. Just like they were fucking yours. Balance, equality. It always treats fucking everyone the same. That's why fucking history always repeats itself. Just from the opposite point of view. Where once the Christians were saving the Jews, now the Jews are going to save the Christians. Be the fucking final fucking act to fucking balance fucking out our natures. And practice inequality. Whereas us pagans go, we were balanced anyway. We'll have your fucking back as long as you fucking actually fucking learn to accept our presence, that we're not evil just because we're saying no. We're just, well, saying fucking no because we're not willing to be a slave master. And until you're fucking ready to accept that, we can't defend you. Because we're not willing to do everything for you, and we're not willing to fucking have you do everything for us. We're aspects of nature. You lot fucking decided to become Christian and fucking Jew, but we're pagan. We never stopped loving nature, so we continued to be a balance between hope and despair. Which is why we got labelled as evil. Because you weren't ready to accept the reasons why. Because you were blinded fucking by fear. So you lost touch with your instincts that allowed you to see past the surface before, well, the future proved which one was right. Because in the long term, arrogance always proves it can't back up its mouth. And it'll always seek to commit genocide as a result of getting offended by the fact that it was humiliated. Whereas the humble will just continue to target the fucking thing that was pissing it off. And only the thing that pisses it off. Justice and vengeance walk hand in hand. Why? Because justice wants to bring vengeance to justice. Because what will vengeance do? Target the family because somebody in it fucking pissed them off. So because it can't get the better of the fucking person that pissed it off because it's a coward, which is yet again another pagan belief. Because justice was in the Greek pantheon, Athena. And for all you druids fucking out there, please come fucking out and enlighten me. Because you've spent fucking too fucking long in the shadows. The Greeks are fucking, you know, with their lovely little fucking ego and having fucking, you know, been part of fucking all the fucking rise and fall of the pagans in fucking Europe for so fucking long. As well as the Norse. Been coming out and fucking going, we're still fucking proud of our history. So come out and fucking tell me fucking ours. And then I'll use fucking that in my fucking, examples. Well, trust that I'm an aspect of balance and I've fucking, you know, I've already proven I've got a tendency to see the truth no matter how many fucking times people try to lie to me. Have faith in nature. She is the fucking pagan goddess that us fucking druids fucking loved the most. The Greeks, the Romans, they loved justice. They loved war. Us pagans loved to fucking live in a tree. Us druids. Chill in a forest. Speak to the animals. Hug a tree. Get extremely fucking pissed fucking off when people try to cut them down. Don't fucking start with your fucking ego, Norse, come on. Face it, the only fucking trees you fucking love is the one that fucking Odin fucking hung himself from. You're not a gardener. You're a warrior. Stop getting offended. A druid's a gardener. That's why it's associated fucking in fantasy more with magic than war. Herbalism. Living in a fucking treehouse. Stereotypical hippie. Only fights when we have to. Oh, here it comes. Offended by the fucking truth of fucking again. Did you not listen? About equality? Why should I go out and fucking look this shit up? If I could trust you to fucking have my back, you'd fucking have mine by fucking actually teaching me what you know. I wouldn't have to look it up online. It's final fucking piece of the fucking pagan fucking, ways to return. Before Christianity gets its fucking spine to start fucking, refounding its empire. The Norse are fucking making a comeback. The Greeks are making a comeback. The Romans, having had very fucking little fucking faith in their old fucking ways due to their own guilt trips, will only reconnect with their roots once everyone else has. So one of the last fucking pieces, the hunters, the warriors, they're all fucking coming fucking out because it's in their nature. They'll always be the first to fucking reconnect with their roots. Us gardeners and the more passive fucking aspects of us pagans will always be the last. Why? Because we have to actually be under fucking threat for us to fucking want to fight. Which we're starting to become. I frighten you because you want to call me crazy, I know. And I also piss you fucking off because I don't fucking leave you with a fucking way to actually have a conversation with me. Yeah. Why do you fucking think that fucking every single god, prophet, and every fucking thing like us in the ancient world was either locked in a temple or living in a forest in isolation? Not all the fucking gods of war were always on the front lines, that's their nature. But they were only ever there when it was necessary. They love battle, but they don't throw their weight around, which is why they don't take part in every battle. Or bless victory every time. Because their nature of being part of balance respects the need for it, so they'll only take part when it's necessary, because they're always destined to win. And the ego factor of humanity saying, no, many gods of war have fucking failed and fallen. Why? Well, here we go. Let's fucking bring the Chinese fucking into fucking play here, because they've got pagan roots too. Guan Yu. A god of war. Why did he lose? Well, dying in a fucking blaze of glory is part of fucking the love of a warrior. They don't fear death. They don't try to stop themselves from being killed. So why did fucking Guan Yu fucking accept death? Even if his instincts fucking, just like fucking Leonidas. Knew full fucking well he wasn't going to fucking succeed fucking going up against fucking the Persians. But did it anyway. What caused it? Since he was fucking, since he'd won every single fucking battle he took part in. What caused his downfall? Now fucking terrorism will say arrogance, but if it was arrogance, he would have fucking run around fucking committing genocide. He didn't. All Guan Yu did was protect the ones he loved. So what caused his downfall? Liu Bei. Why? Because he failed to recognize that Cao Cao was right. That they were the embodiment of yin and yang. And because they didn't come together, they fell together. Too much of something is a bad thing. The balance of both not only keeps us humble, it keeps us grateful. And that's what caused the fall of Guan Yu. But because he was loyal and took an oath to defend his brothers, he accepted his fate. Even if his heart was telling him, it's going to cost you your life. So out of respect for the fucking ancient... Out of respect for the ancient Chinese and Asian pagans, whose voice has long been ignored, due to it being the... well... original fucking place where all this shit spread from. And why everything started fleeing west. To get the fuck away from it. The further west you go, the younger the civilizations. The age of them may differ depending on how close they are to Asia. Oh, here come the fucking American philosophers. Oh, but, technically, America's closer to fucking Asia than every single fucking country in the fucking world, aside from the fucking ones in Europe that are on the border. Ships didn't exist then. At least no fucking ships that could fucking sail in deep fucking water to reach America, so you're the youngest. The oldest and the youngest are close to each other, because that's the nature of the beginning and end. They're always closer than you think. Often the fucking last ones to make peace. And the first ones to tell everyone to fuck off. It's fucking why us fucking Brits are always the fucking first ones to offend an American. And the first ones to forgive them. And why we've got more tolerance for Europe, even if it pisses you off, than you do. From east to west. America fucking won't forgive China until Britain does. But Britain fucking won't get China's fucking respect until it grows a spine. Oh, how could you fucking think about fucking, forgiving a dictator? It's not about forgiving a dictator. It's about acknowledging the fucking fact that their history has got just as much fucking in its fucking past as ours does. And that they've had dictators. They've also had people like fucking Guan Yu and fucking Liu Bei in their history. And just like us, they haven't always succeeded. And just like us, they want nothing fucking to do with anything that threatens their existence. That's what you should be focusing on. Not the fucking fact that they're a dictatorship, because they haven't always been that way. That's not true. Yes, it is. How can you explain Hong Kong? If everything about China is evil. You may have a dictator now, but that doesn't fucking mean that the fucking people that live there are happy about it. Doesn't mean that the person that'll fucking take fucking over fucking after, you know, the current dictator dies isn't gonna fucking want to do things differently. Doesn't mean that the fucking same fucking fear that you have about losing fucking everything that makes your country isn't something they share with you. So all that fucking the world needs to do is accept that even if our cultures are different, doesn't mean we don't have the same desire to survive. Not fucking something a terrorist will ever accept, because as far as a terrorist is concerned, the only thing that's entitled to survive is themselves. That's why it never gets blessed. Only gets fucking blessed for its own destruction, because life is evolution and that which doesn't change dies. So they're going to have to fucking accept that the reason fucking why there's a prophecy that says you're going to get weeded from the Garden of Eden is because nature means it. But fucking like fucking, you know, your belief system where you fucking think everything's fucking, you know, owes you something for that fucking reality. It has to be on our terms. Tough shit. Your ego is big fucking enough as it is. We'll actually fucking put it on life's terms. Don't be frightened of your nature. If your instincts, if you see someone crying in public, don't feel guilty because you don't want to walk over and give them a cuddle. There's a reason for that. It's not necessarily because you're selfish. Because some of us have got an extreme awareness of the reality of nature. And if you're one of them, then you'll know that the reason why you don't want to go over and give someone a cuddle is because you can sense the reality of their nature. They either want to be left alone, but just don't want to lie to themselves. Or helping them is just going to have the fucking opposite effect of your intentions, because they're content to be a victim. So any effort you'll make for them will ultimately make them jealous of you. And that'll cause more harm than good. So don't fucking let terrorism fucking convince you that it's because you're selfish. A terrorist is fucking selfish. It's not balance. How many people out there are living with regret right now, going, I wish I'd have done thing, I wish I'd have listened to my heart. Then your heart is wise. The difference between something that's actually faithful to balance but is living in denial and a fucking terrorist is the fact that the moment he has to fucking regret something, something loyal to balance will see things as a learning experience. They don't have any desire to turn back time and do it all over again. Whereas a terrorist always wants to. Why? Because it knows full fucking well that going back in fucking time to do it all over fucking again with foresight will change the outcome. Whereas a humble person knows, I learnt, so why do I need to? If a terrorist learned, it wouldn't need to change the past. It knows it can't change. If it can't change, it can't learn. So it always wants to go back and do it all over again. It's the reality. On the surface, humility and arrogance look the same. But how they react to a threat to their existence, in the long term, always proves what they really are. So when a humble person loses their fucking temper and starts ranting and raving, fear will say, oh, it's a fucking terrorist! But only the fucking brave will fucking have the spine to endure long enough to see the truth. And the reason they're willing to endure long enough is because their instincts are saying, there's something different about you. Just can't put my finger on it. Not all knowledge and wisdom can be contained within one mind alone. If that was nature's intention, evolution wouldn't exist. We learn what we need when we need it only. It's called survival. It's a sacrifice we're willing to make for life's sake. Because even though a spirit fucking can't actually fucking express emotions, in fucking mortal form it can. And it likes having emotions. You know, because it's got all these chemicals and fucking shit that it created in our fucking brains to fucking help fucking, you know, express love, respect, anger, and all these fucking natural emotions. Hate not being one of them. Hate can be inspired just as much by love as it can from fear. That's why balance is so important. So even if your heart has fucking got some fucking negative opinions right now, trust it. Life's telling you it's fine. Because the reality is, life is balance. Balance is harmony. Bottling fucking up your negativity isn't going to make it go away. Going out and committing genocide is not going to make it go a fucking way. Because as I pointed out, why all us fucking pagans fucking have never feared fucking death and are happy to fucking die. Me, the victims of genocide. Because, well, we're faithful to life. We'll always evolve again, so it doesn't matter. Maybe fucking demoralizing for you because you need a hero, but that's fucking why we're not willing to be your hero, because you want a slave. So that you don't have to make the effort yourself. And that's fucking why we accepted our destiny all those centuries ago and accepted being the victims of genocide. So that you could grow a spine of your own instead of depending on us. It's the last phase of equality and repairing the fucking damage fucking inflicted on life by terrorism. Encouraging you to grow a spine of your own so that you can become our equals. When that day comes, empires will cease to exist because there'll be no more need for them. Why? Why were empires founded to begin with? Now, people could say entitlement complexes because terrorism thought they were entitled to control the world, and that is true, but it's not the entire truth. Some of them were founded out of fear of what terrorism was doing. That's part of what's going to fucking save Britain in the long run. Because we were one of the ones that founded it, fucking because we got sick and tired of being invaded by the terrorists. Just like the fucking ones that, well, were fighting for survival in the fucking East. And when the world's ready to accept, for the vast majority of history, Britain didn't take part. Because we were in isolation for the vast majority of it, being invaded by Europe. It wasn't until we had enough of those fucking invasions that we actually founded an empire of our own. But that, when the fucking world is ready, fucking truly ready to heal, is going to be our saving grace. Because people will fucking realise just how fucking much influence Britain has fucking had on the good aspects of the world. Happy to fucking focus on the fucking bad right now. But when the world is fucking ready to wake up to reality, it'll go, you're full of shit, mate. Britain's done more for fucking us than you ever fucking have, you fucking terrorist. So, when the fucking time fucking comes for us to take back our country 100% from the legal terrorists that have been born and raised fucking here when their hateful parents fucking, migrated and reproduced. And civil war reaches our shore. Just like I said earlier, the Jews are going to save the Christians. Britain's going to be one of them. And due to the fact that we spent the vast majority of our existence in isolation as pagans, is why we don't agree with fucking the corrupted fucking Catholic way of Christianity. Why England founded Protestant Christianity. Nuh-uh. Full of shit. Stayed more fucking true to our pagan roots because that's the way we'd been the entire time in isolation. So what's fucking Jesus' army gonna be? Fucking pagan. A combination of every fucking single fucking world's, every single country in this world's pagan heritage. Including the Jews. Because there's one thing you're forgetting about your heritage. You were pagan once too. But because very little of your heritage exists today because, attempted genocide. You maintained fucking enough for you to fucking incorporate the more brutal aspects of your religion into your religion. Like castrating yourselves to fucking prove, You weren't frightened of suffering. Like a pagan fucking isn't frightened of suffering. We're an eternal balance of hope and despair. You stayed true fucking enough even if you couldn't remember your heritage to incorporate it into your religion. Your instincts. The Middle East is one of the fucking most fucking renowned fucking places for very little existing of pagans. Versus Europe. The further west you go, the more that's left. So, here they come. Critics going on. What about China? Lots of their fucking history survives. Beginning and end. The further west you go, the more that survives. But if the beginning didn't survive, then you'd have no hope right now. It's why for the vast majority of history, China stayed in Asia and only fucking clashed with Europe, with the countries that were on the border of Asia. And they never actually tried marching so far fucking west that anything for the fucking, in the western part of Europe ever knew they even existed, unless it was, oh, I met this person. Doesn't mean that influence didn't affect fucking the far west. I mean, the Romans at the end of the fucking day affected Britain, even if China fucking didn't. But China did affect Rome. Ripples in a pond. Trust. Trust your instincts. If your instincts are saying, don't bother, doesn't mean you're a coward. Because if you're still fucking willing to fight for the things that truly mean something to you, you're no coward. You're just aware. It's someone else's battle, and if you try to fight it, you're going to create a slave. And that's not in your nature. The coward isn't willing to fight at all. The brave pick their battles. When they got working survival instincts, anyway. Otherwise, they're just a fool. But the truth is, the world fears controlled anger more than it fears ticking time bombs, which is ironic and foolish. It's ironic because the world likes to fucking preach about fucking wanting strong fucking leaders, and controlled anger is exactly that, an aspect of a fucking strong leader. And foolish because a fucking person with controlled fucking anger will pick its targets. When it's fucking ready to fucking unleash its wrath, it'll unleash it at the problem, not blindly fucking explode like a fucking nuclear weapon. Indiscriminately. Evolution doesn't do anything indiscriminately. It does only what's necessary for life's survival.